How does a watch company with zero innovation in decades keep being synonymous with luxury? While most brands fight for attention, Rolex barely advertises. They don't chase trends, and yet their watches are some of the most sought after products on the planet. From being an orphan with no connections to building an $8 billion empire, this is the story of how Hans Wilsdorf turned Rolex into a symbol of success, prestige, and power. Today we are breaking down the brilliant branding strategies that make Rolex the most recognized luxury brand in the world. The story of Rolex starts with its founder Hans Wilsdorf, a German-born entrepreneur who became an orphan at just 12 years old. But instead of letting this define him, he threw himself into work and education, and after some early experiences working in Swiss watchmaking, Hans saw a unique opportunity. In the early 1900s, pocket watches dominated the market. Wristwatches were seen as fragile and only for women. But Hans felt that wristwatches were the future. In 1905, at just 24 years old, he launched a watch company with his brother-in-law. It was named Wilsdorf and Davis at first, but 3 years later, they rebranded it to Rolex. Why Rolex? It was simply a short, catchy, and easy to pronounce name. The company's first breakthrough came in 1910, when it became the first wristwatch to receive the Swiss certificate of precision. This was followed by another British certificate, which established Rolex as a brand associated with accuracy and quality, setting the foundation for its reputation. It was this narrative around quality that later got expanded into a symbol for status. What do you think makes a Rolex more than just a watch? It's branding, the associations that they have built. Rolex is not just selling timepieces, they are selling status, exclusivity, and achievement. Unlike other luxury watch brands like Patek or AP, which might be more expensive, Rolex dominates the culture landscape because it's instantly recognizable. The crown logo, the name itself, everyone regardless of their wealth knows Rolex. This is key because luxury is not just about price, it's about recognition. You could wear a $300,000 Patek, but most people wouldn't know what it is. Rolex, however, signals success the moment it's seen. It's a luxury that speaks for itself. So, how did Rolex become a symbol for exclusivity? To understand this, let's first talk about one of the greatest marketing strategies of history, which was invented by Rolex: artificial scarcity. Rolex deliberately underproduces watches to create demand tension. They manufacture around 1 million watches per year, but that's nowhere near enough to meet global demand. This leads to years-long waitlists and skyrocketing resale prices. The result is that Rolex watches hold their value better than almost any other luxury item. Some even increase in price, making them more than just a status symbol. They are an investment, and that's no accident, it's strategic. Hans Wilsdorf was decades ahead of his time. Before influencer marketing was even a thing, Rolex was placing its watches in the hands of icons. In 1927, Rolex made history by giving Mercedes Glitz a waterproof Rolex Oyster to wear while swimming across the English Channel. The watch survived, proving its durability and making headlines worldwide. In the 50s and 60s, Rolex watches appeared on the wrist of legends like Paul Newman, Sean Connery's James Bond, and Steve McQueen. Today, Rolex sponsors events like Wimbledon, Formula One, and the Oscars, aligning themselves with excellence across industries. Here's something interesting that most people don't know. Rolex is owned by a non-profit foundation. After the death of his wife, Wilsdorf ensured the future of Rolex by placing it under the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, a private Swiss trust. This means that Rolex pays no corporate taxes and has no shareholders demanding short-term profits. They can focus entirely on long-term brand control, marketing, and maintaining exclusivity. This unique structure allows Rolex to operate in complete secrecy. Nobody knows exactly how much they donate to charity or how much money they actually make. It's one of the most mysterious luxury businesses in the world. And on top of that, all this system ensures that they can retain their brand value over time. There's no fundamental changes happening internally. So what can we learn from the branding strategy of Rolex? Make your brand instantly recognizable. A simple name and logo like the crown of Rolex makes you unforgettable. Use scarcity to create demand. If your product feels too accessible, it loses exclusivity. Limited availability increases desirability. Leverage influencers. Rolex placed its watches on icons and aligned with world-class events to reinforce prestige. Think long-term, not short-term. term. Rolex's secrecy and non-profit ownership let them focus on slow, steady brand growth rather than quick profits. Control your market perception. Rolex dictates its brand narrative. They never discount, they never oversupply, and they always maintain an air of exclusivity. From a visionary idea to the most recognizable luxury watch brand in history, Rolex proves that perception is everything. They don't just sell watches, they sell status, exclusivity, and success. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into the world's most powerful brands. And I'll see you in the next one.